Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the CORE Racing Network. Tonight, we got the final race of the playoff round for the CORE Xfinity Series, and it takes us to Homestead Miami Speedway. Beautiful track here down in southern Florida is going to play host. It's played host for quite a long time now for the NASCAR finale until they moved it out to Phoenix, and I personally wish they would bring it back here to Homestead Miami. I love this track. I think it provides a lot of good racing. But the drivers have a little bit of a twist here tonight, as the iRacing service has had its major overhaul here to start the well, I guess preliminary start the 2025 season, as it's still in kind of the early stages here. But a huge update for everybody, and that also means updates to some of these setups. So these drivers may not have too much time out here with these setups, and I know some of them were talking about how it may be a little bit sketchy out here tonight, but we'll certainly we'll see how it goes. I'm certainly looking forward to it here tonight. Carl Hamburg and the booth here tonight. Not sure. I believe Jimmy Covert is not going to be joining us here tonight. So we'll see if he does get a chance to pop in here a little bit later. But want to show everyone out there what we're going to be looking at here tonight in regards to the standings. And you see him right here, and it is it's a must-win for both Shayne Therrien and Daniel Wiles. All three, Janczak, Garcia, and Elwood, are already locked in via their wins in the first three races. If Therrien or Wiles were to win tonight, they would also move on and be the fourth driver in the gold division to move on. So we'd have kind of a unique situation where four drivers would move on instead of three. But that's the only way they advance. The points are out the window. That means nothing right now. It is Therrien or Wiles, both at a must-win tonight. If not, it will be Janczak, Garcia, and Elwood, the lone three that'll be fighting out for the Gold Division Championship next week at Auto Club. In the Silver Division, Jack Stoneman, a pretty good lock to get into the Silver Division Championship round next week. Kevin Foster in a pretty good spot there as well, 14 points up. Kaleb Collins is the man on the bubble, only 8 points ahead of David Tilford and Tyler Bramble. Both of them tied there in fourth place. Then over in the bronze, even tighter, Matt Crockett on top, but only 9 points out of the cut line. Joe Thomas is 8 points out of the cut line. Jon Crain is the bubble man, 4 points out of Jeremy Gainey, who was above the cut line last week, and now he falls below. And then Dan Phelps, not necessarily in a must-win situation, but he's got to have a good finish here, and hopefully, one or two guys in front of him have a bad race to get himself in there. But we are already done with qualifying here tonight. Go ahead and take a look at our qualifying results. And on the pole is going to be, well, one of the guys that needs to win, and what do you know? The other guy that needs to win on the pole with him, Shayne Therrien, Daniel Wiles, make up your front row. Man, you want to talk about drama in this final race of the playoffs. Kevin West, Kelly Pointer, Kevin Foster making up your top five. Jack Stoneman, Tyler Bramble, Dave Tilford, Kaleb Collins, Josh Van Westen, your top 10. Then you got Bryce Reiner, Kenny Hines, Jon Crain, Matt Crockett, Jeremy Gainey for your top 15. Dan Phelps, Joe Thomas, Alan Elwood, Niiko Garcia, Danny Ware, and Luis Orduna going to make up your 21-car field. And you see Elwood, Garcia, Ware, Orduna all not getting times in. So we'll see how that is going to play out and see if they're going to be helping their teammates, since obviously Elwood and Garcia are already locked in. See if they can try and get Shayne Therrien in there. But it's going to be a good one out here tonight. The car is already out there pacing. We're going to get ready to go here. 80 laps on tap for the field. Who do you guys got? Who do you think can pull it out here tonight for the win? Do you think one of these drivers that's in a must-need situation, Therrien or Wiles, both in the front row, you think either of them can get it done here tonight and move themselves into the championship round? I know Wiles has pretty much had the worst run of luck here for sure in the playoff round for the first three races. But that can all be wiped away with one simple win here tonight. I mean, talking with him last week, it didn't seem like he was exactly looking forward to Homestead Miami, but clearly he's got a little bit of practice in here, and he may have something up his sleeve. But he's got his other competitor right there in the gold division also looking for a win. Shayne Therrien has had some good runs here and a chance at one or two wins here on the season, let alone in the playoff round. Hasn't gotten it done yet in the playoff round. Needs it tonight. pace car is off. We got 80 laps here for the CORE Xfinity Series. It all comes down to this. Who's going to make the championship round? Who's going to go home? Green flag racing here at Homestead. Good start from the front and already a dive down to the bottom for the 92. And we got 3 wide for the lead. Not wasting any time as Kevin West going down the inside. Close to contact, but it's going to be 3 wide down the backstretch. I don't know if these guys realize it's 80 laps and not, 8/10 of a mile to get this thing done, but Wiles is going to go ahead and take the lead going into turn number 3. Therrien going to fall into second. West is still battling with him right there on the inside. Kelly Pointer rounding out that 4-car breakaway. Jack Stoneman already getting around a couple drivers, moving himself up into 5th position. But Wiles exactly where he needs to be early on. Look back here, battle for 7th and 8th. Kevin Foster on the inside, and Tyler Bramble on the inside. Both these drivers looking to make their way to the championship round for the silver division. As it's been a fun little playoff round here for sure, and very interesting, especially with the drop race involved in there. Obviously, there's 4 races in the playoff round. Only 3 count. There's 1 drop race for everyone out there. So we'll see how these 3 races play out. We'll certainly bring in Dave Tilford once this thing is over to see who's made it through in each of the divisions. As we take a look at Tilford right here, he's one that is in need of a good finish here tonight. He's got to get up there. He's got to mix it up, and he certainly probably needs a top 5. And same thing, needs some hope that some of the other competitors in the silver have a rough race. But right now, Stoneman, Foster, and Bramble, all 3 of them are in front of the 12th. Good racing here as Tilford holds on to 9th. Kenny Hines running that high side in the number 60 right behind him. Go back a little further to another silver division. Not too far behind these drivers, and that is Kaleb Collins, another one looking to try and make his way into that championship, as the only silver drivers out here in competition are all playoff drivers, and 3 of them are going to make it through to the next round. There's no chance of 4 making it through for silver, so it's just going to be the top 3 on points after tonight. And anyone can win and make their way in, whether it's the silver or even the bronze. If whoever wins this race, if they're not already locked in, can lock themselves into that championship round. So no matter how many points you're out of it, a win gets you in, and you can knock somebody that thought they were going to make it through right out of contention. Biggest mover of the race so far is the number 1, and that is Niiko Garcia, making his way up through the field already, as he is currently up 6 spots, starting back there in 19th. Danny Ware, another one that started second last on the field here. Good to see him back out here in competition. He is up 5 spots up into 15th. And then the other big mover here, Bryce Reiner, same thing. Good to see the 90 back out here as well, as he is up 4 spots, starting just outside the top 10, up to 7th currently. But it is Daniel Wiles leading the way and stretching his legs here a little bit. 9/10 of a second into the lead. Maybe he was playing it close to the vest here and saying how much he didn't like Homestead coming up, and getting his competitors maybe a little breathing easy, thinking that they have a chance to beat him here tonight. He may be playing some cards here tonight, and it's looking good so far, up to about a 2nd lead right now in front. Trying to get there we go, finally get the race standings up there, as SDK was not cooperating for me, but after a couple resets, we got to go now. So we got everything working up here, and you see the running order currently. You got Wiles, Therrien, West, Pointer, and Stoneman for your top 5. Foster, Reiner, Bramble, Tilford, and Collins make it up your top 10. Garcia making another pass there on Josh Van Westen, moving himself up into 12th spot. Alan Elwood, your winner last week. Not seeing too much of him just yet. He's, again, another one that did not put a time in here in qualifying. He's at 2 spots after starting in 18th. He's up to 16th right now. We're just kind of hanging out right now. I think he's waiting for this race to come to him a little bit, and doesn't want to burn off his equipment too early. but it was a big win for him last week at Bristol, and he had a pretty good battle with Jack Stoneman. Certainly some short track action coming into play, a little bit of bumping and banging, and certainly as short tracks do, some tensions got raised a little bit, but it was Elwood taking the win and locking himself into that championship round. Had he not won, it was going to be close. It was going to be tight when it comes to the points, as he came into the playoff round with a resounding lead with all the wins that he got in the regular season, brought in all those bonus points, but he was looking like he kind of needed to win one of these last two. Finally got it last week at Bristol. Some big battling up here, 3 wide, as you got Tilford on the inside, Bramble on the outside, Kaleb Collins was smack in the middle. 3 Silver Division drivers all gunning for those last spots here in the championship round. Again, Stoneman looking pretty good to clinch a spot, especially the fact that he's running 5th place right now in the race. Kevin Foster is 2nd in the points in a good spot as well, 14 points up. But these 3 right here, only one of them going to advance. Right now, Kaleb Collins holds that spot. Both Tilford and Bramble are as close as they are on track right now. They're tied coming into the night, and a big bump of the wall there for Bramble. Hopefully it didn't damage the car too much, as they are still side by side and creeping up now into the picture. Niiko Garcia up right behind that 39. And again, it's why I wish NASCAR would just go back to Homestead. I mean, it puts on some great racing here. You see multiple lines being used here. You've seen Tilford on the bottom for how long, Bramble on the top, and they're just neck and neck this entire time. Now Niiko Garcia utilizing that extreme high line and running it wide open at the top there, getting around here and doing a good job. He's up to 10th right now, hunting down at Tilford for 9th. West right behind the 100. Danny Ware getting him a little bit loose there down the backstretch. Going to shoot to the inside here, and almost looked like he was going to pull a slide jump there on the asphalt. It kind of does, just a late move up to the top there, as he's going to take away the 13th position down at the front stretch. Stoneman's got a little bit of company here. Bryce Reiner now peeking to the inside, trying to get his way up into that top 5. Because I haven't seen Reiner out here for quite some time, but again, good to see him back out here. Kevin Foster right behind. This is 5th, 6th, and 7th on track. At the front of the field, you see the lead getting a little bit smaller, down to 0.8 of a second. Still a nice, sizable lead here for Daniel Wiles, as we are now on lap number 15 of 80. We're getting a little bit closer for 2nd place, as Shayne Therrien is starting to have some company from Kevin West. Right behind him, only 0.2 of a second. He's been hanging right with him this whole time. We got some movement back in the back here. Kenny Hines, one of the rookie class drivers, still has not get his 5 races in. We're gonna double check, because I know it's pretty close for West. Yeah, this is actually his 5th race here tonight, so he'll be classified in a division come next week. But making the pass on Kaleb Collins, and then goes to the high side to keep that momentum. You see Collins down there on the bottom side trying to hustle and get back up there, but Hines going to have 10th place. Now he's got 9th place Dave Tilford in front, because Niiko Garcia again on the move up 11 spots now. He is up into 8th place, and I think he's trying to get up there and maybe either help his teammate or keep his teammate out of the championship round. You never know what happens for these last couple races. I mean, you look at the 2 drivers that were 1st and 2nd, as Kevin West now making that pass and moving himself into 2nd. But between Wiles and Therrien, I mean, Therrien is one of the Elwood Designs teammates there. If you're teammates with him, would you like to have all your teammates or most of your teammates there in that championship round? Sure, but I think they all know that Therrien has got some speed, and he's just kind of, it seems like race after race, lying in wait and waiting for him to kind of finally get up there and get that win. And next week, everything is gone. All the points are wiped out. It is best man gets the championship for each of these divisions. It's whoever finishes the highest on at the end of the race. So at Auto Club next week, whoever finishes the highest in the gold of the other championship drivers is your champion, as we got a battle for the lead now. Kevin West coming on strong here later in this run. Going to look to the inside of Daniel Wiles for the lead. Wiles starting to slip back here a little bit, as well as Therrien creeping up there as well. So West puts a 92 in front now. Wiles tucking behind him again. It's nice being the highest running gold division member right now, but either Wiles or Therrien need that win to get in. That's the only way they can get in. So they can't let West get away and maybe steal one from these guys here tonight. Pointer and Stoneman rounding out your top 5. Then you got Reiner, Foster, Garcia, Tilford, and Collins for your top 10. But you got some movement back in the back as Stoneman up a little bit high, possibly into the wall. Reiner's going to move himself into 5th place. Foster going to follow through into 6th. Take a look back here at Stoneman, as he is now going to be under pressure from the one of Garcia, trying to get his 12th position up here and move himself into 7th. Certainly a track that you can see the ebb and flow of drivers that can, get out there early and get some fast laps early, and then the ones that just kind of save their tires, save their equipment for that late run. And I think that's what you're seeing at the front. I think you've seen Daniel Wiles use that equipment up early, get that nice little 1 second lead, but now Kevin West has saved it the most. He is now out to a 1 second lead. Therrien now looks to the inside, and they'll go 2 wide through turns 1 and 2 for 2nd place. Wiles on the outside, Therrien on the inside, digging, trying to get alongside. He's going to tuck back in line. These drivers got about a second on 4th place. Kelly Pointer. And then another 1.8 seconds back to 5th place. Here we got Reiner and then Foster in 6th. Stoneman able to gather up here a little bit and holds on to 7th place right behind these guys. Niiko Garcia going back to the top side, trying to work around Garcia. Meanwhile, moving past Dave Tilford on the high side is Kaleb Collins. Now moves up into 9th place, relegates Tilford back to 10th. Some more good battling as, and we talked about it, Alan Elwood just kind of waiting. So he was saving that equipment for the late run here, and now he is moving through the field. He's up 6 spots, getting very close to the wall right there, and now counted up 7 spots up to 11th place. Gets a great run down the front stretch. Going to send it to the high side to go around Tilford, or at least attempt to go around Tilford. You see how close he's getting to the wall. The closer you can get, it's kind of risk reward. You're going to be able to hold that throttle a little bit more wide open. You see the run that he gets out of the corners, down the straightaways, easily going to make that pass there on Tilford heading into turn number 3. So move Elwood up 8 spots now, up to the top 10. Niiko Garcia, we mentioned, up 11 spots. He's your biggest mover. Danny Ware is right there as well. Now he's 3 wide, as he's got Kenny Hines in the middle, Tyler Bramble on the outside, as he'll still be 3 wide now. It looks like Ware's just going to back out of it here a little bit and try and get a bit of a run, as Tilford's starting to slip back here a little bit. Now Bramble coming back into play as they battle for 11th place. This is 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th all here on screen. Hines going to slide up here a little bit. Ware we get back to the inside again, and still 2 by 2 as now Tilford on the high side, Bramble on the inside. Heading into turn number 3, Bramble's going to try and sit in there, drive it hard through turn 3, and he is going to be able to make that pass and slide up in front of Tilford. Tilford tries to go for a crossover, gets a little bit loose though, and he is going to lose that position. Meanwhile, up front, we got Kevin Foster going to the inside here of Bryce Reiner and going to make that pass. Reiner gets up a little bit too high, maybe even bend to the wall a little bit, so Foster going to slide himself into the top 5. Highest running Silver Division driver right now. But they are all chasing. Man coming into the pits, the one that's going to make the first move into the pits, Kevin West in. Here comes Daniel Wiles coming into the pits as well. That's going to allow Shayne Therrien to get a lap lead here. Here's the pole sitter, but didn't get a lap lead. Kenny Hines gets loose coming into the pits and puts it into the wall. He's going to get it straight back out and back going again, but that is certainly going to cost him some time. Shayne Therrien is your leader, but you see Kelly Pointer right behind him now. I'm sure we'll see these guys come in to this lap or next, as it is certainly pit window time. And now here comes Kelly Pointer trying to get everything on the inside. And we got a gaggle of cars coming in here. A lot of them coming in. Bryce Reiner going to stay out. So is Alan Elwood. So that'll be your top 2 right now, as everybody files back into single file here. We got some cars coming out of the pits as well. Some tight fitting right there. As everyone's going to come in, I think pit stops with this green flag running is going to be very, very big here tonight. Reiner now going to bring the 90 down into pit lane. You see Elwood coming in behind him. Jeremy Gainey seems like he's just kind of limping it around here, but he will make it to pit lane. Joe Thomas going to go around for another lap, and I'm not sure if he crossed the line in time, if he's going to get credited with that lap lead or not. So we'll see if he can get around here and into the pits and cross that line in pit lane to get recorded as a lap lead here tonight. It could be very big when it comes to the bonus points, especially in this bronze division. Again, Joe Thomas, one of those bronze division drivers looking to move himself into the championship round. Keep an eye on him here, as it's about 17.5 seconds back to Kevin West. It's gonna be close. Kevin West coming through 3 and 4 right now, but looks like Joe Thomas should be passing the start-finish line. Should get credited for a lap lead, so it's going to cycle back out to Kevin West in the lead, 2-second lead, and we've got a caution on the speedway. Not sure where exactly who it is involving. Oh, there it is, the 90 of Reiner. Take a look at that one more time. I don't think anybody else was involved. Here you go, you see just kind of a little bit of a bobble, slides up. The track here a little bit on those cold tires. Gonna slide it sideways, no contact, no harm done. And kind of surprised that actually was a caution. I'm thinking it was just a little bit too sideways for iRacing's liking, but how about that right at the end of the pit cycle, and arm no foul for anybody here as we bring it back live. And Tyler Bramble is 1 lap down. I have to try and take a look. I'm not sure if he got a speeding on pit road. Yeah, actually that is, it was either speeding or unsafe entry, whatever the case was. He had a pit road penalty, so we'll see if that 39 will get his lap back now, as we do have some takers back into pit lane. Kevin Foster in the pits, Kelly Pointer, Kaleb Collins, Josh Van Westen, Bryce Reiner all coming in the pits. Not surprised Reiner coming in. Obviously, you're probably going to need some, well, they are limited with tires, so probably you can't take tires here. He's going to have to just come in and maybe just try a different strategy or top off on fuel, which I'm sure is what all these drivers are looking to do here. I doubt we'll see any cars go up, but actually, we do see Foster go up, taking 2 tires here. Collins taking some tires. Looks like Pointer's going to take all four. So maybe those drivers didn't take tires on that first pit stop, but either way, they're taking them now. Here on lap 33 of 80. It's going to be West, Wiles, Therrien, Stoneman, and Garcia for your top 5. You got Ware, Elwood, Tilford, Crockett, and Phelps for your top 10. Certainly a great low start for the CORE Xfinity Series here tonight on what's a stressful night for a lot of these drivers, I'm sure. And again, we'll take a look at the standings coming into tonight and show you how close it is. We mentioned Therrien and Wiles can still make their way above that cut line, but they must have a win here tonight. That is the only way they make it through is with a win. Stoneman looking good on points to advance through here and having a good night as well. It's currently up to 4th place and running around that top 5 just about the entire night here so far. Foster in a pretty good shape when it comes to points, but then Collins, Tilford, and Bramble, kind of anything can happen in that middle of the pack for sure. Over in the bronze division, Crockett is, I believe he is, yeah, he's running in just inside the top 10, but so is Dan Phelps. So the top half and the bottom half of that bronze division, both inside the top 10 right now. And you got Thomas, Crain, and Gainey all looking to get their way into this this championship round coming up next week. It's been a great race so far. It's been a great season. This is again race number 19 for these drivers. Race number 20 is going to crown the champions, and that's going to be at Auto Club Speedway. Beautiful, beautiful track that unfortunately has, in racing terms, passed away and has gone to the warehouse side of it, as the track out there in California and Fontana has been torn down to make 4 warehouses. And it's a shame. It was a beautiful 2-mile knee-size oval, but we can still reminisce and race hard here on the iRacing service, and that's what these drivers do. But it's about time to get racing again here at Homestead Miami. And Kevin West back on the loud pedal. We are racing once again. Good start from the inside row there, as West is going to clear and get out to a nice size lead. Side by side, Wiles maybe into the fence there a little bit as he's doing a battle with Shayne Therrien and Jack Stoneman right up there as well. Niiko, Garcia, your top 5. Alan Elwood up there after starting in 18th. Danny Ware started in 20th. Both of them are in 6th and 7th right now, and looks like Elwood looking to go side by side with Niiko Garcia, but it's side by side for 2nd place still. And both these drivers hungry and absolutely needing a win here tonight. They're leaving it all on the line. Not even halfway yet, but getting very close to it. We got a spoiler in the mix, in the punch bowl here, and that is Kevin West, looking very good tonight here in the 92, qualified in 3rd place to start this race, and has looked good on the long runs, and now he's got a chance to lead on the short run here and doing a pretty good job here so far. 4/10 of a second lead. Back a little bit further. Battle for the last spot in the top 10 as Crockett on the high side and Collins on the low side. It's definitely a break for the man right in front of him, Kenny Hines. He's seen him coming into the pits, slid sideways, got into the wall, but he has gotten a bit of a break here from the iRacing gods. Got the caution there and got himself right back into the mix. And the other one that this has benefited, still back there in the field a little bit here, but the 39 of Tyler Bramble gets his lap back after having the pit road penalty, and now has a chance to try and fight his way back up through the field. Side by side in front of him as Kevin Foster to the inside here, Kelly Pointer battling for 15th position. Still battling up front for 2nd place, still side by side as Wiles on the outside, Therrien on the inside, but Therrien's got some teammates and got some help on the way here as Alan Elwood now pulls up right behind him. Elwood now the biggest mover in the race, up 14 positions. He's got Jack Stoneman right behind him. Those two certainly got to bumping and banging last weekend in Bristol, and it ended up going the way of the 5. But the 25 still got a very, very good points day, and quite possibly enough last week to kind of lock himself into that silver division. But, you know, he wants a little bit of a payback in multiple ways. He wants to try and get another win here. He's got the only win outside the gold division, I believe, this season. And he'd love to repeat that and really take some momentum, some big momentum coming into Auto Club next week. But for the time being, he hangs out right there in 5th place. Behind this battle is now Therrien to the high side, and Elwood going to go around Wiles as well. So it is going to be West, Therrien, Elwood, Wiles, and Stoneman. But Wiles is going to have to battle here because Stoneman is trying to get a run on that outside and join this two-man tandem in front of him and get around Wiles himself. It seems like Wiles is just kind of content riding on the bottom. Maybe he learned a little bit on that first run and just trying to conserve here a little bit. Stoneman slips up there a little bit, maybe gets in the wall just a smidge. Gonna lose some time here. Oh, back further in the pack, just catching it right now. Bryce Reiner, hard impact into the wall, but it's off the racing line. It's down to the bottom, so the green flag will stay out. Try and take a look at that one more time. As cars come off the corner, Reiner comes up. Not sure, looked like maybe even a little bit of neck coat involved there as well, but he gets hit hard into the inside wall, and certainly not the return that the 90 was looking to have. As Reiner now into the pits. But up front, we got a battle now for 2nd place as Alan Elwood to the inside of his teammate Shayne Therrien. Not going to clear him just yet, as they'll still be side by side on the front stretch. Already past the halfway point now. Starting at lap number 43. Therrien to the high side, trying to make the longer way around work, but he's going to lose 2nd place right now to Elwood, who's up 16 spots and damn near going last to first here in tonight's race, and he's got one more to go. He's got Kevin West in front of him by about 0.4 of a second. Daniel Wiles not giving up just yet. He's still right there in the mix and right behind Therrien as they're 1, 2, 3, 4. Stoneman in 5th. Niiko Garcia just kind of settling in here, I think, on this run in 6th place. Danny Ware right behind in 7th. Dave Tilford seems like he's got a little bit better of a handle on the car this run right here, so I'm not sure if he had damage on that first one or not, but hanging out there nicely in 8th place. Kaleb Collins right behind him in 9th. And then Kelly Corner going to round out that top 10. Back a little further in the back, you see one of the cars that came into the pits on that pit stop. Both the 75 there you see in the early part of your screen there in 10th place now already. And then Kevin Foster right behind Kenny Hines, trying to make a pass here, move himself up into 11th position. Give you an update on some of the bronze drivers here. Matt Crockett currently running in 13th. Jeremy Gainey 2 spots behind him here in 15th, and he is certainly one that is going to need a good finish here tonight as he just gets past there Josh Van Westen. Dan Phelps right behind him in 16th position. And Tyler Bramble trying to work his way back up through the field, but he's kind of just been stuck back here since the restart in 17th position. And right behind them, you got Jon Crain and Joe Thomas battling in 18th and 19th. Looks like we do have one car retiring, at least for the time being. Luisa Arduna in the pits with the number 73. As Alan Elwood now starting to creep up here and looks like he wants to have a battle with Kevin West. This is not what the Gold Division drivers wanted to see. They liked the fact that Elwood was maybe, quote-unquote, struggling in those first couple races, but he gets the win last week at Bristol as Wiles into the wall there, and then Jack Stoneman into the wall as well. Really trying to utilize the high line. But now if Elwood were able to go back-to-back with Bristol and Homestead, that's certainly going to be a lot of momentum carrying into the finale. We've got a caution heading into turn number 1. Looks like it involves Josh Van Westen, possibly Dan Phelps as well. Take a look at it. Here's some close battling. Oh, Bramble tries to go through the middle, bumping and banging back and forth. And 4 cars involved there. Take a look at it one more time. As Bramble goes to the middle and just couldn't hold it straight enough. Bounces off Van Westen, off of Gainey, off of Westen, off of Gainey. Just kind of pinballing back and forth until he finally gets up there, hooks Van Westen, who gets turned down into Gainey, sent up into the outside wall, and unfortunately, you see Phelps there locking it up, but he could not keep it off of him, and really hard impact there for the 85 as well. So he's gonna have to bring it in and get a faster pair on his machine. But it's going to bring us under a caution and kind of at an interesting time as these drivers made it, right about 27, 28 laps on fuel for that first run. And currently we're looking at right around that amount as Tyler Bramble gets a little sideways coming in the pits there. But it's going to be right around that amount of time here once we get back going green. So this could get very interesting here once we get this thing back going. Take a look and see what might have happened here coming into pit lane. As already missing it right there. And Bramble just trying to catch up to the field, just slides it sideways. And then Van Westen tries to go around, or actually, that is Orduna trying to go around, and Van Westen gets involved as well. So it's going to cycle out, and Matt Crockett stays out here. We'll see if he comes in this time by, but if not, he is trying to at least get a lap lead here tonight and help his chances in the bronze division. Looks like he is going to remain out. Alan Elwood, Shayne Therrien, Niiko, Garcia. Next 3 as Kevin West falling back quite a bit here, as it looks like there's quite a few drivers that elected to take fuel only. Kevin West ended up taking tires, so he's going to be back further in the field, currently shown as 16th position. Looks like he'll move up to either 15th or 16th as he's coming around right now. Not sure what exactly is going on here for the 92. He's just trying to save fuel, but pace car lights are out. Looks like Matt Crockett going to elect to take the high side here on the restart. So Elwood's going to be in second on the inside. Niiko, Garcia, Shayne Therrien, Kevin Foster for your top 5. So big move up there for the 8. Dave Tilford, Jack Stoneman, Daniel Wiles, Danny Ware, Kelly Pointer going to round out your top 10 for this restart, as we are down to 30 laps to go, right around very close to that pit window. And man, it would be special to see that. We've seen it in the first 2 races so far in the playoffs, where fuel strategy certainly came into play. Will it come into play here on the last race of the playoff round? And who's going to benefit if it does? Is Matt Crockett in the lead? He did not come into the pits on this little cycle right now, under caution. He is a control car. He is on the loud pedal. We are back racing here at Homestead. Certainly a little bit of dancing around there from some of the drivers, but a good clean start. Heading off into turn number 1. And I don't think Elwood's going to take too long to get around the 10 here. Now he's going to clear him already. Through turns 1 and 2, moved himself up in the lead. Elwood started 18th, and he is now at the point. Crockett doing everything he can just to hang with him, but I think that's about the best he can do right now, is just trying to hang with these guys as much as possible. Some close battling down there at the bottom, and now Wiles going to go to the outside here of Tilford, as I'm not sure if you can see it on the screen, but it's starting to heat up here a little bit at Homestead as we're in the second half of this race, getting towards the last third of this race, and you see that the crowd is just getting a little bit more antsy, I think, coming to the end of this thing. Therrien now makes his way around Elwood, And Niiko Garcia looking to do the same. And what do you know, it's the three Elwood Designs cars looking to go towards the front. Now the question is, do they do anything to help their teammate Therrien make it through to the championship round? Or is it just kind of fend for himself and see if Elwood can get another win here on the season? Crockett to the high side, knock it out and out. Here comes Daniel Wiles to the inside of Niiko Garcia, trying to break up that three-man team, and he's going to do so down the backstretch here, working that inside line. But Niiko Garcia is enjoying the high side, and we'll see if he can get the run coming through 3 and 4. Not going to be enough. Wiles going to tuck right in behind Therrien down that front stretch, and it's Elwood, Therrien, Wiles, Garcia, and Crockett for the top 5. Now Wiles going to sneak down to that bottom line and help the run here for Wiles. And I'm just noticing now why, is he's got fresh tires, and he is starting to work his way through this field. He wants to get back up to the front, but he's going to need this thing to go green the entire way to really kind of benefit from this. And he's going to have to make that fuel last all the way as well. So maybe thinking that this thing is going to go green the rest of the way, it's not a bad thought. It was a good run to start this thing before we had our first caution. But it is certainly a lot more racy here right now. Another car having a good run here in the bronze division. Joe Thomas up there in 10th position right now. He's got some fresh tires as well, working his way up towards the front. This is a big run here for the 218 to try and get himself into the bronze championship. Right behind him, 92 Kevin West, trying to make his way back up to the front of this field and get back up into the mix. See if he can grab a win here tonight. I was really surprised we didn't see too many cars come in for a second pit stop. The only one that came in for a second pit stop to top off on fuel and maybe playing a bit of a flyer compared to everybody else here, Kaleb Collins. If this thing ends up going green, everybody has to drive hard and can't make it. Collins got an extra lap on everybody else when it comes to fuel, or I guess maybe consider an extra half a lap because you're under caution and not burning as much. But it could be a move that pays off for the 72 here tonight to get himself in for the silver. But time is starting to tick down. It is down to 23 laps remaining in this race. Daniel Wiles has made it past Alan Elwood, and he is trying to check out. He's trying to do everything he can to get away from everybody right now, as Elwood is no longer the one in second. It is his other teammates. We haven't seen too much this season, but Danny Ware moves into second place in the 100, and he is trying to run him down. He's got some fresh tires as well. He started back in 20th position, second last to start this thing, and he is trying to get all the way up there to the front. He has yet to taste the lead here tonight, but he's in second place right now, about 1.1 seconds behind Daniel Wiles. So Daniel and Danny in the top 2 spots right now. Elwood, Therrien, Pointer, and Garcia battling for the 5th and final spot in that top 5. Garcia on the inside. Pointer with some fresh tires on that outside is going to get around not just one, or the number 1, but also the number 3, as he gets around Therrien on the outside. 2 for 1 there through 3 and 4 for Pointer, moves himself up into 4th. All these drivers taking those tires on that pit stop. Again, if this thing stays green, I think they got that right strategy nailed down. Crockett now, unfortunately, has to come into the pits and make his final pit stop. He's going to need either a yellow or everybody to have to pit before this thing is over to have any kind of shot here to get back into this thing, because he's going to go, I believe, a lap down. Yeah, he is going to be a lap down now, coming back out onto the track. Kevin Foster up into 8th position right now, right behind Jack Stoneman, as they try and work their way up and battle with these top 5 cars. Joe Thomas right behind him in 10th place, but on the inside, here comes Kevin West, already up into the top 10, and now up into the top 8 as he moves around Kevin Foster on the inside. Foster goes down and blocks that run from Joe Thomas, who blinks out. Okay, I was going to say, hopefully he comes back here pretty quickly, and he does. He's having a good run. No one had that thrown away by net code or any kind of connection issues as Thomas going to go to the high side. It's a good run, not enough to get alongside of Kevin Foster just yet. But certainly keep an eye on that 92. He has been working his way up through this field. He's another one that's got some fresh tires to try and get up through this field. But man, if this thing stays green, it's going to be very interesting. As Daniel Wiles out to a 1.9 second lead right now, but we got a couple pit stops. And the other one that needs a win here tonight, Shayne Therrien in the pits, as is Dan Phelps right behind him. So I'm wondering if these guys realize we're not going to make it on fuel, so we're going to have to bring it in right now. But Daniel Wiles, I don't think he's thinking that at all. I think he wants to try and run this thing out as far as possible. As now Alan Elwood got a relinquish that position as well. So again, I feel like we may be outside that window of trying to make it. And another one coming in as Jon Crain comes in, hits the wall pretty hard, but luckily for him, it spins back around, and as long as that's not an unsafe entry, he may kind of get away with that if he's got a fast repair in there. Can go ahead and slap that fast repair on and get back out there and not lose too much time, but don't want to be doing that too often. We'll see if Daniel Wiles decides to come in anytime soon, as I'm sure all these drivers that are coming into the pits are going to be taking their set of tires. Certainly Alan Elwood took his tires. Now the question is, how far can Wiles make it? Can he make it to the end? If he can make it to the end, he may be on that right strategy to get the win here tonight. Jack Stoneman looking for a move here on Kelly Pointer. Battle for 4th position, as we're down to 15 laps to go this time by, and we're certainly we're in go time right now, or maybe for Wiles and Ware and all these other drivers that are trying to make it to the end, maybe it's slow time. It's time to just slow down and try and milk this thing and make it all the way to the end. As Pointer gets up high, maybe even touch the wall there a little bit. Stoneman's going to get along by on the inside, move himself up into 4th. The man in 3rd after all these pit stops is Kevin West, and he is running some of the fastest laps on the track right now. You've seen him under that caution, maybe just kind of hanging back and saving a little bit of fuel in the back of the field, and could end up paying dividends at the end of this race. But certainly a long way to go, as it is down to 14 laps to go. Daniel Wiles in the lead by 1.9 seconds over Danny Ware, another 2.5 seconds back to Kevin West, and then another 0.6 of a second back to Jack Stoneman, and a 0.5 second to Kelly Pointer. So 5.6 seconds separating the top 5 right now. But I think that the number we want to kind of keep an eye on is really that 1st to 14th position, because that is the amount of time in between first place and the first car that came into pit road, and that is Alan Elwood here. He is running in 14th position right now, currently 40.5 seconds behind your leader. It's too much of a margin to make up on pure speed, but you know, if Wiles can't make it to the end, that's where it's going to be very interesting, because the pit stops have been around about 38 to 40 seconds for just taking fuel. So, I mean, it's right about that time right now. Now Elwood gets under the 40-second range. So, and he's got those fresh tires. It's gonna keep creeping down further and further. So I think the only way Wiles can win this thing at this point is stretching this thing all the way out to the end, because Elwood is within the realm of passing him once Wiles comes into the pits, or at least once he comes back out, he'll have those fresh tires either way. So we'll see what Wiles can do to try and sneak his way in and become the 4th driver in the gold division to get it done. A close battle here. It seems like Kenny Hines has been in or around just about every close battle here tonight, as he is smack dab in the middle of Kevin Foster as he looks down the inside, and Joe Thomas right behind, still having a good race back there in 8th position. Hines now to the inside, and Foster looks like he's just gonna kind of leave him go by. And if there's anyone that can save some fuel, if there's anyone that can get it done on fuel mileage, keep an eye on that number 8. I'd certainly keep an eye on him to see if he can stretch this thing out on fuel. Jeremy Gainey now looking out Phelps. Okay, he's back there. I thought maybe he was going into pits, but he was just blinking out there for a little bit. But he's the second running bronze division driver right now in 13th position. Again, he was above the cut line before last week, and then he had the issues, ended up getting DQ'd last week. And now he is back and trying to race his way back above that cut line and looking pretty decent right now. Again, he is second in the running right now. He's in 13th position. The next closest bronze division driver, your bronze division leader, Matt Crockett, in 17th position. Dan Phelps in 18th, Jon Crain in 19th. So right now, Jeremy Gainey, you know, obviously the drop races come into play and everything like that, so I can't certainly call it at all right now, but Gainey looking pretty good right now in his position, and he is the last car out there that has not come back in for their final pit stop. So 13 cars still out there trying to stretch this thing on fuel, and you see right there, that is the pass to get his lap back. Alan Elwood now back on the lead lap, so 14 cars on the lead lap. You see Therrien not too far behind, looking to get his lap back very soon as well, but I think Wiles and Ware, for that matter, more than welcome to let them just go on by. There's no way they can catch them on speed. We're down to 8 laps to go here at Homestead Miami. Therrien running around the high side, and he's going to get the run. You see the massive run on the high side. Drops down to the bottom, makes the move on Wiles as Therrien just trying to keep up with Elwood as those two would be in line if all these drivers run out of fuel. But it's a big ask right now. There's a lot of drivers that are still out there, and you got to wonder, does anybody or does everybody have enough fuel? It's going to be, it's really the only talking point right now is who can make it on fuel, who is going to try and stretch this thing out to the end, who's just going to kind of give up and come in for that splash and dash. Right now, Wiles in the lead, but that lead is gone as a big run here from Danny Ware gets him right up behind. And now it is only a half a second in between Wiles and Ware. But is this by choice for Wiles? Is he maybe kind of holding up, slowing up this pace? Maybe he wants to tuck in behind Ware and get some laps in the draft to try and save a little bit of fuel. There's so many things that could be going on right now. I'm glad I'm not a crew chief. I'm glad I'm not in the car right now. I'm glad I'm just up in the booth and watching and waiting to see what happens on this thing, because I have no idea. We got 5 laps to go, and your guess is as good as mine. Who do you got to win this thing? I know who you're rooting for, but who can realistically come away with this win here tonight? Battle back in the back half of the top 10. There's the battle for 7th place. Thomas to the inside of Foster. And again, I think Foster is more than willing to just let him go on by at this point. He's looking at trying to save some fuel at the front of the field. It is a side-by-side battle now. Ware on the outside. And, I'm sorry, Ware on the inside, Wiles on the outside. And here comes the one of Niiko Garcia looking to get his lap back. Jeremy Gainey is about to go a lap down. So the one passing Gainey, this is the battle for position, but Ware into the lead of the race here tonight, and could he pull the upset here and keep one, if not both, of the Gold Division drivers looking and needing a win here tonight out of it here? And man, what a heartbreak it would be for Wiles if he would have to come home in second on the last race here, and just kind of really would cap off his just horrible run of luck here in the playoffs. We're going to find out in 3 laps here. 3 laps to go here. We're going to crown a winner here tonight. And we're going to find out who's going to make those championship runs next week at Auto Club in the gold, the silver, and the bronze division. Only 3 drivers in this race are locked in to the championship round already, that being Alan Elwood, Craig Janczak not in attendance here tonight, and Niiko Garcia. They have all won the first 3 races in the playoff round. They are locked in. Doesn't matter what they do tonight, they are locked in to the championship round. But Daniel, Wiles, and Shayne Therrien need a win to get themselves in. It's looking less and less likely here for Wiles as he is slipping back further and further, now falling into the clutches of Kevin West, as we will see the white flag in the air, this time by 1 lap to go here at Homestead. Danny Ware enjoying a 1 second lead over Wiles and West, who are now battling into turns 1 and 2. Wiles getting past here pretty easily. Keep an eye on Danny Ware, though. Can he get this thing done? Does he have enough fuel? He's stretching out his lead. 1 second now is the gap to Kevin West in second. And that thing is still under power. And there it is. Danny Ware gonna play it out perfectly. He is gonna win here tonight and play a bit of a spoiler. And even Kevin West coming home in second, doing a fantastic job. He is gonna, come up 1 spot short of maybe where he deserved to be. Had a fantastic car here tonight. Took a bit longer of a pit stop and possibly costing the win. Daniel Wiles comes up 1 spot short in third, or 2 spots short in third place. Jack Stoneman, Kelly Pointer round out your top 5 here tonight. Man, what a race, what a finish here. We take a look at the drivers that came in for their pit stops. The highest finishing one back here didn't even make it into the top 10. That is Alan Elwood. Shayne Therrien in 12th, right behind him. So Shayne Therrien going to be knocked out of contention for the championship as well. Excuse me. So as everyone now finished up, we'll take a look at your race results here for tonight. Top of the boards is going to be Danny Ware, Kevin West, Daniel Wiles, Jack Stoneman, Kelly Pointer for your top 5. Kenny Hines, Joe Thomas, Kevin Foster, Kaleb Collins, Dave Tilford for your top 10. Alan Elwood, Shayne Therrien, Tyler Bramble, Josh Van Westen, Niiko Garcia for your top 15. Jeremy Gainey, Matt Crockett, Dan Phelps, Jon Crain, Luis Arduna, and Bryce Reiner are going to round out your 21 car field here tonight. I can't wait to find out how this this whole thing played out in regards to points. It's going to be really close, really tight for a lot of these drivers. I think Joe Thomas finishing in 7th place has got to be the kind of the story of the race. Of course, you know, Danny Ware coming from 20th to win this thing on fuel mileage is certainly a storyline. Daniel Wiles coming up just 2 spots short here is certainly a heartbreaker, but Joe Thomas starting in 17th position here tonight, comes home with a 7th place in the bronze, and that should be all he needs to lock himself into the championship round there for the bronze. But we'll go ahead and step aside for a second. We'll get all these drivers in for their interviews, and man, it's going to shape up pretty fun here for sure. But we'll go and step aside for a moment. All right, looks like we got our 3 drivers here ready for their interviews, and we will make sure, yeah, we do get all 3 here. So we'll go ahead and probably start with the the unluckiest one here tonight, and that is going to be the 3rd place finisher here, Daniel Wiles. Daniel, you look like well, you did. You had the right strategy here tonight. You decided to stay out there. You decided to stretch this thing out on fuel, and you made it to the end. So you checked that box, but just not enough. I'm guessing you had to kind of just wall up a little bit too much to save enough fuel to get to the end. Yeah, I mean, it couldn't be set up for a better storyline with obviously both you and Shayne needing a win here tonight, and you both start in the front row. So I mean, it had to feel good to. I mean, of course it's not going to feel good come next week, and I'm sure it's not even going to feel good tonight, not making the championship 3. But I mean, you gave it pretty much everything you could. You qualified that thing on the front row, and you made one heck of an effort here tonight to try and get it done. It's got to feel good to at least kind of finish the playoffs the way you probably should have had the first 3. All right. Well, actually, before you do that, for some reason, couldn't hear it on the on the broadcast there. So we'll go ahead and just kind of a quick recap here. Your race because for some reason the mic wasn't working, but we should have you working right now. So yeah, as we mentioned, you did everything you could here tonight with the qualifying effort. Yeah, you had the right strategy to run this thing out and not come in for that pits and come in for the splash and dash, but just coming up a little bit short here tonight.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, I've never been good at the clutching and saving fuel. I'd rather save fuel under a caution. And I guess with saving fuel, I was asking them guys in the waiting room, you're not using the motor to really slow you down, so overheated tires. And I had enough fuel for a run at the last 2 laps. Then it just went in the corner and just went straight. So there's nothing I could have done.
So we finish up next week at Auto Club. Are you still going out there? Are you still going to try and at least make an attempt at grabbing a win here on the, or should I say one more win here on the season? Actually, no. Am I right? Did you have a win here in the season? I'm brain farting.
I won Daga. I won the 6
That's right.
wide.
Yeah, that's right. Now, yeah, there we go. Yeah, I mean, what do you think about Auto Club? Do you think it's a chance to try and at least exercise some demons, get yourself a win to finish out the season, and maybe look forward to 2025?
Auto Club's my favorite track. I had 3 wins this week in A class at Auto Club. So, yeah, I'm pissed off. I'm going to go out there and steal a win from these guys.
All right, sounds good, buddy. Well, before we let you go here tonight, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
All my teammates, obviously you. It's one of the best leagues around. We've been running it for a couple of years. I got AMR. I got Conti, Setup Shop. Yeah, that's about it.
All right, buddy. Well, it's a heartbreaking 3rd place here tonight. You at least get a podium to finish out the playoffs to help help ease the pain a little bit. But hopefully, you can get that win next week and really make the short off season feel a little bit better and get you ready for 2025.
I appreciate it, man.
That is your 3rd place finisher tonight, the 48 of Daniel Wiles. 2nd place tonight is going to be the 92 of Kevin West. And Kevin, you had arguably one of the fastest cars out here tonight, if not the fastest. It seemed like that car was fast on the long run. You got the lead after the caution there, and it seemed like it was pretty fast in the short run. But you fell back a little bit in the pit stop, and I feel like that might have been kind of what cost you here tonight. But what was it looking like from your side?
Yeah, we got caught speeding there on that 2nd pit stop and had to restart at the rear. From there on, my only chance was saving fuel and just hoping the people in front of me either pitted or ran out at the end. But, man, we came up just a little bit short. Probably could have pushed it a little bit more through traffic and had a better shot at getting by Danny. But, hey, I can't complain with P2 after going to the rear. That's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what was it about the track here tonight? I know iRacing obviously having the big massive update here, and I know the setups got switched up and changed up for you guys. How did it work out for you? Did it feel like it was better? It was worse? I mean, was it anything that felt a little different to you that seemed like it worked out for you?
Yeah, it definitely suited me. The car felt really good. Definitely felt really good on the bottom there for like the first half of the run, and moving up towards the top of the second half of the run, the car just took off and I just drove away from everyone. So yeah, I liked it a lot. We got a next gen race tomorrow. I have to try that one out, but the Xfinity car felt great tonight.
Well, it certainly worked out good, and you had plenty of speed out here tonight. It's a shame that you came up one spot short here. You were able to beat Daniel Wiles there. See that in America Racing on the back here, but it's your first 5 races now in CORE. You finally can kick the rookie status off of there. So I guess what are your thoughts after your first 5 races?
And I've really enjoyed my time here in CORE. There's a lot of really good drivers, a lot of talent here. Yeah, I'm looking forward to next season. I joined this season a little bit too late to take part in the championship chase or whatever, but we'll go for it next season. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, before we get to next season, next week at Auto Club, we finish out the season. What are your thoughts on Auto Club? Do you feel like it's another place you got a shot at a win?
Oh yeah, it's not my best track, but you can move around top, bottom, middle. You got options to try to get a run on somebody and pass them. So, really fun racetrack. So looking forward to next week as well.
All right, buddy. Well, before we let you go here tonight, who do you want me to shout out to or thanks to?
Shout out to my America Racing teammates. They're super supportive, helped me out a lot. Shout out to the mobile homies over on TikTok. We're closing in on 4,000 followers on TikTok. Shout out to my wife, shout out to the fam, and thank you guys for putting on the broadcast, putting on the league. It's pretty awesome.
All right, buddy. Well, heck of a run here tonight. We'll see you next week at Auto Club, see if you can get one spot higher.
All right, man. We'll go for it. Thanks.
Is your second place finish here tonight, the 92 of Kevin West. Last but not least, we got our winner here tonight, and it's going to be the 100 of Danny Ware. Danny, you guys had the right strategy at the right time. The call to stay out there and not come in for that splash and dash worked out. How much fuel saving did you have to do on that last run? I know it was kind of close right when it started up because it seemed like on that first green flag run, you guys made it about 27, 28 laps, and you guys had to make it about 30 on that last one. So how much clutching in and saving were you actually doing?
I started saving right off the bat, actually, just right from the green flag on that run, and it lasted me all the way to end, and I barely had enough to do a burnout at the end.
Well, I mean, that's the most important part. Winning's one thing, but you got to celebrate too. So yeah, I completely understand that. But I mean, coming in here tonight, you had a good run with us when you ran before, but you only had one race on the season here. And you were able to get the top 5 earlier in the season, but you come back out here tonight and play a little bit of spoiler. As we had obviously your teammate Shayne Therrien needed a win to get in, but also Daniel Wiles looking for a win to get in, and you come in here play spoiler here tonight.
Yeah, I didn't really plan on it. I just came to have fun and race and hopefully try to help Shayne win, but the cards didn't play in that hand, and I just kind of fell into a lucky situation where I ended up with the lead at the end of the race.
Well, it certainly wasn't due to your qualifying effort, not putting in a time starting back there in 20th. Was that by design? Did you mess up in qualifying?
No. Alan, Niiko, and I all decided let's start from the back this week. We don't have nothing to lose, so might as well just try to have some fun tonight.
Well, certainly good to see you back out in action. I'm a big fan of Homestead. I feel like it provides a lot of good racing, plenty of passing opportunities, a lot of different lines you can run through the corners. What are your thoughts here? Obviously, it's got to feel pretty good with the win, but I mean, ultimately, what do you think about Homestead?
Honestly, in practice, I was telling all the Elwood design guys that this is my worst track. I really suck at Homestead, and I just couldn't figure it out. Even in the regular runs, I just didn't have it. I couldn't pass people. I just couldn't save tire, but like I said, I just kind of lucked into it, so now I kind of like Homestead.
Understandably. Well, next week we got Auto Club. Will we see you back out there at Auto Club, and will we possibly see you in the 2025 season?
Yeah, definitely Auto Club 2025. Still probably maybe part-time, maybe full-time. I think we'll find out in that time.
All right, buddy. Well, take some time and enjoy this win out here tonight. Before we let you go, who do you want to give a shout-out to or thanks to?
All the Elwood Design Esports guys, obviously Alan for making all the paints, Simrap Market, Roderick Racing Development, just Niiko, Shayne, all the guys. I'd like to give a shout out to Shayne because he's run a great season. It just sucks that he couldn't really make the playoffs or the final, I guess.
Well, either way, it was good to see you back out here tonight, and certainly running well and running that right strategy again at the right time, get yourself a win. So, congrats on that. We'll hopefully see you next week and maybe in the 2025 season.
Yeah, thank you.
It's your winner here tonight, the 100 of Danny Ware. We do have a confirmation on the point standings here, so we'll go ahead and bring them up here in a second. Let me just get him all set up here. All right, so your championship runners for the Xfinity Series is going to be, you can ignore the top there, as Craig Janczak also is locked in. So Alan Elwood, Niiko Garcia, and Craig Janczak will be your 3 drivers here in the gold division that will move on to the championship round. In the silver, it's going to be Jack Stoneman, Kevin Foster, and Kaleb Collins. And then in the bronze is going to be Joe Thomas, Matt Crockett, and by 2 points over Jon Crain is going to be Jeremy Gainey getting that 3rd and final spot in the bronze. Extremely close racing. I expect as much, if not more, next week as we head to the Auto Club Speedway, a beautiful 2-mile D oval that's going to provide some great racing for this championship finale. And man, if it's anything like tonight, it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be 75 laps out there in California. Thank you to everyone tuning in here tonight. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. But for myself and the CRN crew from the Homestead Miami Speedway, we'll see you at the track.